Today we're talking about the harvest. You know, Thanksgiving is upon us. This is the time of year that we don't have to worry about presents, the hustle and bustle of the shopping season, or scrambling to take care of everybody on our list. Yet. What do you think of when you think of Thanksgiving? Maybe family, friends, food, football, and of course wine. But actually, what's going on here is bigger than even those things. In this episode, we'll not only look at the harvest, we'll also look at a bit of what it represents and what it can mean to us individually. The Mayflower made landfall in 1620. That was an event that changed world history. Many of the 132 passengers and crew stayed holed up on the ship for months after it had landed. They went through trials, miserably cold weather, lack of rations, insecurity, and fear for their lives, but they were excited about the opportunity for a new and better life that this land represented. In the spring, they planted new crops. They planted seeds supplied to them by the indigenous people. These new friends called the plant maize. In English, we call it corn. In the fall of the year, there was a bountiful harvest. Together, the colonists and the Native Americans gave thanks and expressed gratitude for the bountiful harvest. Fast forward to 1777. To mark the bountiful season of independence from Britain, the Continental Congress declared a national day of gratitude and thanksgiving in December. For generations, this national holiday has caused people to pause, gather, reflect, and give thanks. In 1941, under FDR, Congress amended the holiday so that the fourth Thursday in November was designated as the National Day of Gratitude and Thanksgiving. Interestingly, the U.S. is not alone in having a holiday like this. There are national holidays in different nations throughout the world celebrating gratitude and Thanksgiving. Gratitude is global. So enough history. Let's get into the significance of the holiday. You know, it actually represents more than football and overeating. Now, I can't imagine why, but it does. Social scientists have ample studies indicating that the quickest way to experience true happiness is to express gratitude. Nothing surpasses gratitude for us to experience contentment and happiness. Do you want to hear something that seems sort of backwards? Happiness does not bring gratitude. Gratitude brings happiness. Being thankful is the very root of joy. I've traveled to many different parts of the world, from Trinidad to Toronto, Appalachia to Atlanta, Florence to Philadelphia. You know, it's interesting. When you sit down and talk to people, the people who have less stuff are typically the happiest. Gratitude turns what you have into being not only enough, but a bounty. So, what are you thankful for? If this somehow resonated with you, I'd appreciate you letting me know in the comments below. Write 3 things in the comments that you're grateful for or thankful for. Do you recognize and realize how your comments might help and encourage others? Many of you know that I have had a very difficult year this past year. I had a friend suggest to me, write down the things you have to be grateful for, things that you're thankful for. You know, first of all, I thought that was the dumbest thing I've heard in a long time. Then I struggled to write down anything for a day, almost 2. Then something inside me clicked. I don't know what it was, except possibly the encouragement of that person. Something inside of me was triggered, and I wrote and wrote and wrote. One thing after another. You know, we have a national holiday that has lasted hundreds of years because people who had virtually nothing were grateful for new friends that taught them how to grow a new crop, corn. No matter your belief, you have all kinds of things you can be thankful or grateful for. Family, faith, friends, freedom. You know you better than I know you. Write them down. There's an old Vietnamese proverb that goes something like, when you eat fruit, think of the person who planted the tree. I have a new Instagram and YouTube friend, part of my posse, that back in October said, have you ever had a moment while sipping on wine when you think of how grateful you are for the people who have helped make the wine that's touching your lips? That question so resonated with me. Whether the wine is coming out of France, Italy, Australia, New Zealand, California, Chile, or Michigan, I'm so grateful for the people who have put all the grueling hours to tend the vines, pick the grapes, go through the crush, bottle, and ultimately get it to you and me. I'm so grateful for these people. You know, in golf, most of my drives are slices or hooks. At the grocery store, most of the beef I buy is pretty tough. And, well, don't get me started on people, because the truth is, successful relationships require a high degree of tolerance and grace, an approach which most of the time I struggle with. Maybe you have felt stuck some way over the past couple years. You know, I mean, who hasn't, right? If you believe the studies that are out there, most of us find our jobs to be, you know, just bearable, at best dull. Speaking of dull, over 2 years ago, I took a cross-country wine road trip by car. Most of the drive was really boring, but I gotta tell you, getting to know the owners and winemakers was so worth it. It was a truly enriching experience. Most of that trip was nothing to write home about, but occasionally there were beautiful vistas, breathtaking waterfalls, majestic mountains, enchanting vineyards, and exhilarating bursts of speed when, on the back roads of our nation, I stomped the pedal to the metal. You know, the trick is being grateful for the life, the ride that God let you have. Even when, maybe especially when, so much of it isn't worth a hoot. You know, some people think that being grateful is kind of corny. I don't. It saved my life. Gratitude, how does it all start? The good book gives us a hint. It says, for whoever wants to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for me will find it. Hey Posse, thanks so much for investing the time to watch this video. I trust it was helpful to you. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And please consider hitting subscribe. Also, click here to check out our new online shop. We have a great lineup of wine-related items that will help you get the most out of your wine experience. Oh, and be sure to check out these other videos. Until next time, cheers.